That was good. I feel good, man. I'm happy that the main event of this pay-per-view was, in my opinion, one of those matches that when I am in my wheelchair, rocking back and forth, and I have my grandson or granddaughter on one knee, I'll be telling them about where I was when I saw the NXT Classic that I will discuss in this video. But before we get to that, we have a show to talk about. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is your boy, Alyx Man. And you are watching my live NXT Takeover Philadelphia review. I am here to discuss the results, give my thoughts on the matches, which ones I liked, which ones I didn't like, if it's worth your time. But ultimately, you are all here to hear me talk about that main event. And trust me, I will go into full detail about what I am considering unequivocally. I can say that word more better than that. Let me try this again. Unequivocally. Close enough. The Undisputed. Let's go with that. Match of the year so far. Last year, the match of the year was Kazuchika Okada versus Kenny Omega, and rightfully so. I think it goes without saying that the Okada versus Omega this year is Gargano versus Almas. And I am going to have a great time, the best time, talking about that match. And hopefully you guys will join me in the comments, in the live chat, discussing how awesome this show was. I really, really enjoyed this show. But before we get into any of that, as you guys know, we got some things to plug. Namely, my Facebook page. Like me on Facebook. My Twitter. Follow me on Twitter, DeluxeManVX1. Check out everything down below in the description box, as well as a link to Pro Wrestling Tees to buy yourself a Deluxe Man t-shirt if you would like to help expand the brand of your boy, Deluxe Man. Ultimately, though, if you want to help a brother out, you can donate to my PayPal or Patreon right now. Otherwise, just check out the video and just let those ads roll, baby. But let's get right into it. First off, Philadelphia. Awesome. Awesome crowd. Always love any wrestling show in Philly. The home of ECW. Guys, I thought Philly was great today. Packed house, by the way. It really helped the show stand out. There were times where I'll be a little honest. This is just a nitpick on the crowd. I love y'all. But there were moments while watching the show, y'all got a little too impatient. I understand this is the home of ECW and y'all want top quality. It's either give us a good show or screw you. I get that. I appreciate that. Even during the main event where they were getting kind of impatient, I'm just like, y'all, let the match breathe. They're telling a story. Just go along with it. Just go along with it. Relax. It will get better. I promise you. And I know I can't make anybody who buys a ticket do whatever I feel they should be doing because it's their money. They do what they want. I just kind of feel like because they were getting kind of impatient, it was getting nerve-wracking. It's like, guys, don't pwn this match before it even gets on its feet. And that's all I was saying. Still a great crowd. We had a few special guests tonight. We had Samoa Joe in the pre-show. Again, he's on injury, out on injury. Will not be able to make the Royal Rumble tomorrow night, unfortunately. And most likely will not be around for WrestleMania either. And that sucks. But it was nice seeing him here. But the other special guests, we saw War Machine in the audience. War Machine is a ROH/New Japan Pro Wrestling tag team, former tag team champions, Info Promotions, coming in. That's really cool. Good to see them. They should be awesome. They should be great for the tag team division. We saw Ricochet. He's keeping his name, by the way. They're letting him keep Ricochet, I think. They might have him change it up a little bit. But it was nice seeing Ricochet Prince Puma in the audience. But the shocking special guest appearance was none other than the artist, formerly known as Derek Bateman, EC3, Ethan Carter III. Is it Ethan Carter or is it Ethan Cambridge? I don't know what the EC stands for in NXT, since he's not the cousin of Dixie Carter, because Dixie Carter is not here. They might call him Ethan Cambridge, but they're letting him keep EC3. He even came out with the suit, did the whole 3. It was nice. They're letting him come in as EC3. And the live chat is telling me that it's still Ethan Carter III. Is he going to be managed by Dixie Carter? No, I take that back. No, horrible idea. Horrible. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I did not say that. You didn't hear that from me. I'm moving on. It was good to see. I'm serious. It was good seeing Ethan Carter III in the audience. So it looks like NXT, for real, is about to become the top brand in WWE again. With that said, let's get right into the NXT TakeOver card. We opened up with, honestly, the least important match on the show. And actually, let me say this before I even get into that. I love how the card was structured. And what I mean by that, Triple H had whoever structured the card. I don't know if it was Triple H or William Regal or whoever is in charge of structuring the show. Whoever structured the card had a good sense of match importance. The one that had the least importance, that felt the least significant, went on first. And that was the Tag Team Championship match. But then the ones that had more importance came after that. And I love how each match was better than the last one. It had a nice flow to it. It had a really gracious flow to it. Reminded me, honestly, of a New Japan Pro Wrestling show. It really did, because you know how Wrestle Kingdom or any New Japan Pro Wrestling show starts off with the random tag match that nobody cares about. But then as the night goes on, we get matches that have more importance, that have more stakes. And then the one with the most stakes, the most important, ends the show. And that's what I feel like this show accomplished. And I appreciate that. Which is why, although the first match, this tag match, didn't impress me all that much, I wasn't upset. But let's talk about it. It is the NXT Tag Team Championships. The Undisputed Era, a.k.a. Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, taking on the Authors of Pain. It started off kind of bland. And, you know, it's one of those matches that, on paper, it's not really all that interesting. It's not. No, that's no fault of the competitors. I just feel like there's nothing for me to grasp on. It's just one of those matches I go, it's whatever. And they try. Look, all credit where credit is due. All 4 competitors tried to make this match work. They just lack chemistry. They lack the chemistry to make this work. And it was a good idea to open up with this. It was smart to open up with a match that fans didn't really care about and then build to better matches. And I appreciate the booking of the match too. I do like what they did with the Authors of Pain. I like how we see Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish attacking the legs of the Authors of Pain. I think it was Akam that had the leg injury. And they targeted that and used that as their way to get the advantage over the monster tag team. Otherwise, they would have gotten their butts kicked. And there were a couple of nice spots in the match. It wasn't a bad match. Let me just say this. It wasn't a bad match. There wasn't a bad match on this card. It's just in terms of the usual NXT TakeOver standards, it didn't quite meet it. If you know what I'm saying there. It was just a decent, just a little bit over an average match. Wasn't one of those matches where I would go out of my way to watch again, if you know what I'm saying. It's just a match that happened and that's it. The Authors of Pain end up losing. They take, I guess, the closest thing to a clean victory, a clean loss over to the Undisputed Era. So yeah, Undisputed Era maintains the championships, and Authors of Pain could be looking to come up very soon. That might have been their final match. That should be their final match, unless they end up fighting TM61, which is fine with me too. But anyways, we move on to this match. Cassius Ohno versus the Velveteen Dream. So, first off, let's just talk about Velveteen Dream real quick. I have to gush over him. I need to. This guy is far beyond anybody on the roster. He's figured it out. He's figured it out. I'll say this. He has figured it out way before some people on the main roster. We talk about Aleister Black and Velveteen Dream being main roster ready. He's more ready for the main roster than some people on the main roster right now. He's figured it out. He's understood the psychology of the sport. He understands how to make you care, how to make you get invested in not just the matches, but the character, him and his opponent. When you are able to not get people to care about you, but your opponent as well, my God, you got it made. You got it made. Velveteen Dream is, without a shadow of a doubt, one of my favorites on NXT. Might be one of my favorites in wrestling, period. Like, he's quickly becoming a top 10 favorite for me right now. I love everything about this man. His mannerisms, his gimmick, the whole Prince get-up, the pretty boy stuff, the entrance, the promos, the looks. I like how he came out in this boxer outfit, and the gimmick, the theme of the match was made on the pre-show. Velveteen Dream made this claim that he can knock out Cassius Ohno in 30 seconds. And so he came out in this, boxer gear, the shorts, the boots, without the gloves. He had the mouth guard. You had someone on the outside giving him a mouth guard. That was really cool too. He completely outshined Cassius Ohno. I love Chris Hero. I still believe Chris Hero is one of the best wrestlers in the world right now. Without question, he can make any match great. But he was completely outshined by Velveteen Dream. I'm sorry. The stardom, the star that Velveteen Dream is was way more interesting than anything Cassius Ohno did in this match. And honestly, I think it affected the match as well, because fans were completely in the corner of Velveteen Dream. They would not cheer Cassius Ohno. They booed Cassius Ohno. First off, understand this is a smart, I want to put that out there, smart wrestling crowd. They should love a Cassius Ohno. You know what I'm saying? They should be in love with a Cassius Ohno. No, they weren't. They were completely against him. Well, majority, let's say 75% against Cassius Ohno. The match itself, let me just say this too. Because of the dynamic being off, it was supposed to be heel versus babyface. I was rooting for Velveteen Dream to beat him because he was so charismatic. It was hard to hate him. But despite that, the match was also kind of sloppy. There were a couple of spots where Cassius Ohno, he took a DDT the wrong way. The little swinging DDT that Velveteen Dream does, he took that the wrong way. It looked like he hurt himself badly. And then there was a spot where Cassius Ohno jumps up for Velveteen Dream to catch him, and he was going to go into that cartwheel Death Valley driver. And I think he landed the wrong way, and then Velveteen Dream almost dropped him. But the execution of the move looked very sloppy. So I can't really say this was their best performance. It was still a solid match. Let me just say this. The first spot, we see Velveteen Dream knock out Cassius Ohno. That literally, he punches him in the face and knocks him out, and then he starts celebrating. Yay! Yeah, I knocked him out. And he says, count him out. I was done. How do you hate this guy? Yeah, he's a heel. Yes, he's a douchebag, but how do you hate this guy? He's so dedicated to his character that it's hard to hate him. I don't want you to turn him babyface, but Lord have mercy. That was awesome. He knocks him out, and then he starts celebrating. Yay! There were also some stiff shots by Cassius Ohno. Cassius Ohno He knows how to make his elbow strikes, any strike that he does, whether it's a boot, whether it's a kick, elbow strike, punch. He knows how to make them convincing. And I feel like there were a couple of moments in there where I feel like he knocked the hell out of Velveteen Dream, who sold it beautifully. Velveteen Dream does walk out with the victory after he hits that top rope Purple Rain elbow drop, which I love. He gets height on that thing. Really, really good. So yeah, Velveteen Dream, man, killer. He is beyond main roster ready. People are saying main roster ready. Screw that. He's beyond main roster ready. He's ready for the prime times, baby. Shoot. As for Cassius Ohno, might be time for something different. He needs to change something up. He's falling behind now. And this is what I was afraid of because of him leaving and coming back. There was that fear of him falling behind. It's kind of like Hideo Itami. Because Hideo Itami got hurt, there was that fear of him coming back and just not keeping up and falling behind. I feel like both Cassius Ohno and Hideo Itami are in that camp. They've fallen so far behind that they missed their train. So it might be time for a change. We might need to change something up for Cassius Ohno. Heel turn, I don't know. But something needs to happen here. Otherwise, he might fall all the way behind. It's called the Purple Rainmaker. Okay, not Purple Rain. Purple Rain, which would make sense because Prince. Purple Rainmaker, which works too. Anyways, let's move on. Next is the Women's Championship match. NXT Women's Championship match. The champion, Ember Moon versus Shayna Baszler. First off, love the UFC/MMA entrance for Shayna. I think over time, we should have her come out with the whole get up, the robe, have her come out with some managers, maybe even security guard. Go full blown with it. Seriously, if we're going to make this girl a star, have her come out with the full get up, the full entrance. The full UFC crowd. Just go full blown with it. Make her unique. I love that. I love that we're doing unique entrances in NXT, which is not something we see on the main roster. But getting into the match, I thought it was good. I thought these two women had a really good match. I loved the storytelling. I loved seeing Ember Moon basically get her arm broken. Whatever that arm stomp Shayna does, when Shayna gets her opponent's arm, puts it to the ground, then stomps on it, whatever that's called, that is nasty. It reminds me of Pentagon Jr.'s arm breaker in Lucha Underground. It's the new Pentagon arm breaker. Those of you who don't know what that is, just know that it's nasty. Okay, let's get this reference in there. It's the new Randy Orton punt kick. Maybe not there yet, but it's shaping up to be. Man, when she stomped on Ember Moon's arm, it looked like she actually broke it. Like the way it bounced off the mat and contorted when she stomped on it, it looked nasty. And Ember sold that wonderfully, by the way. Well sold. There was a spot where Ember did hit the top rope stunner, which I called it in my preview. I thought it was going to be counted into a rear naked choke. They're probably going to save that spot for a future match. But that would be an awesome spot to do in the future. But she did hit the top rope stunner, the Eclipse, and she didn't pin her. Ember Moon didn't pin her because her arm was hurt. She took a long time. We had people coming over to check on her. And then when she got to Shayna hooked in that MMA-styled arm breaker, that submission move, which I loved. And she kept that baby in for what seemed like 5 minutes. It was a long time. They were rolling over the mat. Nice use of counters and mat wrestling. Stuff we don't see in the main roster, especially from the women. Okay? But this is stuff we don't see. And it was great. I loved it. It was dramatic. It was like, okay, is Ember Moon going to kick out? Okay, she hits the ropes. Nope. Shayna pulls her away from the ropes, keeps her in it. And there was a moment where I really thought Ember Moon was going to tap out. I'm like, she's about to tap. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. And then Ember rolls up Shayna and pins her 1, 2, 3 from the arm breaker. She had her on the arm breaker, and then she stands up and pins her shoulders to the mat. 1, 2, 3. I was shocked. I'm telling you, I always say this in my previews. NXT loves to throw you curveballs. They always take what you expect, some matches that you expect to happen one way, and flip them another way. I predicted it was going to be Adam Cole and Aleister Black. I thought Cole was going to beat Black. That was going to be the unexpected turn. Nope, they got me. Ember Moon beat Shayna Baszler because I thought Shayna was going to beat Ember Moon. I said, there's no way in hell that Ember Moon's going to walk out of this match. She's going to lose. Nope, she beat Shayna Baszler. She beat her. Now, she beat her in a way that made her look strong because Shayna got cocky and she took her focus off what she was doing. And Ember Moon capitalized by pinning her 1, 2, 3. And then after the match, Shayna got pissed off and attacked Ember Moon and choked her out. Which, you know what? I'm cool with it. I'm not too pissed off that Shayna lost. I'm not too pissed off at all that she is going. She's opening with a loss. Because I know a lot of people are expecting her to go on this undefeated streak. Let me tell you something. This is something I might actually do a video on this. The concept of the undefeated streak, it's starting to feel like every new person that comes into NXT has that. And it's actually kind of getting old. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate undefeated streaks, Taker, Goldberg, but when they're done sporadically, not everybody can be undefeated. Okay? Not everyone can have a clean whistle win-loss record. It's okay to lose. But it's what they do with those losses. To me, Shayna Baszler getting pissed off and attacking Ember Moon after the match, wonderful. Wonderful. Because she's still a monster. She's still a bully. Yeah, Ember Moon won the match, but she lost the war. Guess who walked out? Guess who's not hurt? Shayna Baszler. That's the story that needs to be told. Absolutely. I just think for me, I don't believe every newcomer needs to have an undefeated streak. That's just my thoughts. That's just how I feel, you know? So I just feel like for right now, we should definitely get to a point where Shayna is such a monster, where Shayna has, how do I put this? Yeah, she's not going to be undefeated, but she has an aura of a Brock Lesnar. She has the aura of somebody that when she comes out, someone's going to get hurt. You know, oh crap. You know, when you look at her, when you look at Shayna Baszler, you should go, shit. You know? I don't quite feel that way with her yet, but we will get there, and we can get there without her having a clean record. Okay, so let's see what happens. We are going to have a rematch. There will be a rematch, and I guarantee you in the next match, Shayna will beat Ember Moon. I'm feeling that. All right, moving on. Let's move on to, this match. Okay. Extreme Rules, ECW Hardcore style match. Aleister Black versus, say it with me, Adam Cole, baby! This match is awesome. I thought this was a fantastic match. These two, man, in terms of a WWE, modern day WWE, PG era, Extreme Rules hardcore match, this is probably as good as it's gonna get. You can't use chair shots to the head. You can't have blood. Although I feel like if this was done anywhere else, you would have gotten that. So in terms of a WWE styled hardcore match, this is as good as it's gonna get. With that said, I have to give credit where credit is due. These two brought their A game to this match. I love the story of Aleister Black not using a weapon. He doesn't like using weapons because he is a weapon. And Adam Cole was the one using candlesticks and chairs and setting up all the nicks and crannies and toys and stuff. The weapons of destruction for our entertainment. He was the one doing that. Aleister Black is like, I don't need a weapon. I don't need anything to whoop your butt. I got my fists. I got my legs. That's all I need, baby. I'ma still kick your butt. And I like that. It made him more of a badass. It does. It does. It just makes him even more awesome than he already is. Really. And small nuances to these characters is what makes them superstars. That's what makes them get over. I appreciate Aleister Black saying, nah, don't need a candlestick. And see, this is how you do it. I'm reminded of Bayley versus Alexa Bliss from last year, which is the worst match, the absolute worst match of the year for WWE. Is it the worst match, period? We'll have to see. But ultimately, that match, you had Bayley not using a candlestick because, I don't want to use a candlestick. It's going to compromise my morals. But she spent the entire month talking about, I've watched Tommy Dreamer, I've watched Sandman, I studied on my ECW tapes. I'm gonna hit you with a candlestick when the candlestick was legal. And a candlestick match. Candlestick on the pole match, but a candlestick match. Here, it came across a lot more badass because he could have used a weapon. But we've all seen him without weapons, and we know that he's lethal enough to survive it. And he had to make a point that I could use a weapon, but I'm not going to because I don't need one. I'm going to beat you without a weapon. And it came across so well, and it made the match that much more awesome. But where do I start? There was a crazy ton of spots in this match. I don't know where to begin. There was a spot where Aleister Black came off the ropes with a springboard moonsault, and then Adam Cole caught him in thin air mid-flight with a candlestick. Damn. There was a spot where we saw Aleister Black on the ropes, and then Adam Cole tossed the chair. Aleister Black caught the chair, and then Cole super kicked the chair into his head, and he fell off onto tables on the outside. Damn. There was a spot where there were chairs like this, 2 chairs set side to side, right? And the edge of the chairs were facing, meeting together. Freaking Aleister Black picked up Cole in a fireman's carry and threw him on the top edges of the chair. It was the most cringe-worthy spot of the match. I feel like I felt the pain. I feel like he did it to me because I was just like, brother, yeah. If you know where that reference comes from, we can be friends. But I was doing the whole old man. Oh man, I felt that. It was nasty. It really was. We had Sandy and Undisputed Era make appearances. Undisputed Era came out to help Cole. And then Sandy came out to make the save. Nice spots. Killian Dane did a nice tope suicida, which was unexpected for a big man like him. But the match ends when we see Aleister Black do this really awesome. I think they were outside. And then Cole was near the table. And then somehow Aleister Black jumped high and did like this double knee splash on Cole and drove him to the table, threw him back in the ring. Cole gets a chair to hit him with it, and then he hits the Black Mass. And he pins a 1, 2, 3. Aleister Black pins Adam Cole. Adam Cole loses to Aleister Black. It didn't come easy, but he beat him. That was cool. I am extremely happy I saw this match. With that said, it's time. You guys have been waiting for me to talk about this match, and this is the best time to do it. Main event: Johnny Gargano versus Andrade Cien Almas for the NXT Championship. In the corner of Johnny Gargano is his family and the recently signed Candice LeRae, his wife. In the corner of Andrade Cien Almas, the former La Sombra, is Zelina Vega, who, by the way, was smoking hot. That red, though. Bruh, she can manage me any day. I still think she's the greatest manager on NXT. Not because of why you're thinking it right now. No, think about this. Name a manager right now that has brought more success to anybody else on the brand. Within months of managing Andrade Cien Almas, she made him a champion. Just saying. Just saying. So, where do I start? Okay, let's start with this. One thing I love about this match, the slow parts, because there was, like the first 5 minutes of it, it was slow. They were doing counters, rest holds. But what I love about the slow parts, they weren't boring. You get me? Because there's a lot of matches that start off slow, as expected, especially when you're going long. You want to start off slow. You don't want to do anything big right off the bat. You want to build to it. But what I love about them starting up slow, feeling each other out, it wasn't boring. There was counters to counters. There were spots that they usually do to opponents, like in previous matches that they were countering, unique spots and all that kind of stuff. It was nice. It was refreshing. It was new. So as the match built up and more to a climax, I was more invested because they had me during the spots that were supposed to be boring. If you're able to get me invested in the sections that are supposed to be boring, we got it made. We got it made. And what really hooked me in this match, it wasn't just the story of Gargano, fighting, like the Daniel Bryan underdog story, which is what they referenced. They called it the Daniel Bryan underdog story. This guy who has been fighting for months, trying to get out of the shadow of Tommaso Ciampa, has been losing matches, has been having a string of bad luck, just losing matches left and right. Finally caught some wind of good luck. He got this main event match. You really start to feel like, yeah, this is it. This is it. This is the one. This is the match. And although I kind of felt this wasn't going to be his night, they had me. They really had me in some moments. Because as the match progressed and we start to see them kick it up a notch and get into second gear and third gear, and then finally the final gears of the match, the pace picked up. They pulled out more maneuvers. I can't even give you a spot that I loved more than the others. There were so many spots, so many counters. This was a wonderful, magnificent masterpiece. And you ever just watch a match? You ever just watch a match and you just tell yourself, I don't want it to end? You know? The essence of a classic match, and I have to ask myself this too, what makes a wrestling classic? What makes a match that you will remember into your old ages? A match that you will look fondly on down the line and go, yeah, this is a match that I love. This is a match that represents why I'm still a wrestling fan today, why I'm a wrestling fan. An element that makes that match is this idea that you don't want it to end. That to me might just be the one thing. You're watching a match and you go, I don't want this match to end. I want it to keep going. You're upset that it's over. You get me? A classic match is the kind of match where you would pay hard-earned money to see again. And let me tell you something. If they announce Gargano versus Andrade Cien Almas again, I would pay good money to see it. I would. This match was awesome. My favorite, I do have a favorite moment though. My favorite moment was towards the end when it's getting good. You get all these awesome near falls and Gargano's getting closer. And then Andrade Cien Almas has him in a trio roll, not on the inside of the ring, but on the outside of the ring. And he does a double stomp onto the ring apron, throws him back in the ring. And then he pins him. I'm thinking that's it. And then he kicks out. It literally looked like it killed Gargano. The way he sold it, his eyes glazed over, him looking off in the distance. That was wonderful. And then Zelina Vega, after Gargano was tossed out of the ring, she gets on the apron and then does a flying head scissors to Gargano. A flying head scissors. and then tosses him in the ring for Andrade to hit the DDT, and then he's still kicked out. The fight for Ever Chance could not have been more appropriate. It was so awesome. Oh, we gotta talk about this moment. So Gargano kicks out, right? He's on the outside. Here comes Zelina Vega. And as she's getting closer to him, Candice LeRae jumps her ass over the barricade and starts attacking her. I marked out. That was my mark out moment of the night. That was my mark out moment. Where was Joey Styles? Cat fight. You know? Where was Jerry King Lawler? Woohoo, puppies! Something like that. I can't do a very good Jerry King Lawler impression. But damn, that was... I was so happy when Candice fought for her man. She ran her off. I was loving it. But in the end, Andrade Cien Almas hits a nasty double knee strike, a double running knee to Gargano on the ring post. The brutalness of the spots in this match, man. It was nasty. And then, of course, he hits the DDT and then pins him 1, 2, 3. It was a heartbreaker. And that's how you know, again, I keep saying it. That's how you know Johnny Gargano is an effective babyface. If he loses, you're sad. You know? When was the last time you saw a babyface that lost that made you sad? Daniel Bryan was the last one, honestly. Yeah. Daniel Bryan or Sami Zayn? Really? Sami Zayn on NXT, by the way. It's recent. But that is how you know Gargano is an effective babyface. He lost, and you're just like, damn, it's that close. He can't beat Gargano. Gargano just can't beat Almas. What is this? 0-3? He's 0-3 now. He's 0-3 on Almas. He can't beat Almas for some reason. He can't beat him. Well, clearly because of Zelina Vega, but he can't beat him. He can't beat Almas. And the fact that after the match, we see Gargano and Candice LeRae in the ring. He's standing up. He's heartbroken. He's defeated. And the crowd is standing ovation. It reminded me of so many moments. It reminded me of Chris Benoit, Royal Rumble 2003. It reminded me of Rey Mysterio, a lot of his matches when he was competing for the World Championship. It reminded me of all those moments where wrestlers came really close, but then they just fell off. They just missed it. But it doesn't end there. Oh, no, brother. Oh, no, brother. It doesn't end there. We see Gargano going up the ramp. And just when that exit logo appears, here comes Tommaso Ciampa. Here comes the Psycho Killer with a crutch. A crutch, not a clutch. A crutch. Bam! Hits Gargano in the back. Knocks him down. And then we see Candice LeRae. No, why? All over him. And then we see Ciampa just standing there looking crazy. And then he's just like, why'd you make me do it? You know, he has this look in his face that tells an awesome story. It's like, it's hard to explain, but he looks down at Gargano like, bro, why'd you make me do this, man? What's wrong with you? Why? You had to get the respect. And this is why I loved the attack, because a lot of people are kind of upset. People are upset that he didn't interfere, that Ciampa didn't interfere and cost him the match. Honestly, I like this better. I love this a lot more better because Ciampa attacked Gargano because he had the spotlight. He can't stand Gargano having the spotlight. He can't stand the fact that people think he's awesome, that people love him. He can't stand it. He hates it. He hated it so much that he came out there. Well, storyline-wise, he's still injured. He's still limping and stuff. Here, he's actually pretty okay. But he's still limping. And he came out there and he had to attack him. He had to attack him, not because he was about to win, because he didn't win. He hates the fact that people loved him. He hates the fact that he's forgotten. Ciampa's been gone for months, and people have forgotten all about him. Trust me, we haven't. But storyline-wise is he's been gone. People have forgotten about him. And he had to get that spotlight. He hates the fact that Gargano has the spotlight and he doesn't, which I love. I love that story. I cannot wait for these two to have their matches. I'm seriously considering if they ever come near Houston, like they're gonna have, I don't know when the next takeover is gonna be in Texas, but whenever it is, wherever it is, I might actually travel and go to it. Because I'm almost certain that when Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa have their match, it's not gonna be their only match they have. They're gonna have a multitude of matches. It can't be the only match they have. It can't be. So yeah, guys, we're in for one hell of a feud. If Gargano is Batman, Ciampa is Joker. And you're about to see, in my opinion, one of the best feuds in NXT history, if not WWE. But let's answer the all-time question. People are asking me this right now. Was this the greatest main event match in NXT history? I think it was. No BS. If you ask me right now, if this was the greatest main event in NXT, yeah. The only other main event that I can see being as good as this, Sami Zayn versus Neville, our Evolution. I'm not even kidding you. This to me is the best main event. The best NXT main event so far. And I'd be hard pressed to find one. I mean, let me know. In the live chat, in the comments, do you agree? That's my question to you right now. Is this the greatest NXT main event so far? So far. Again, it's probably not gonna be the reigning champ for long, especially when we do Tommaso Ciampa and Gargano in the future. But let me know, is it? That's my question to you. Also, what's your grade for the show? I thought it was a great show. Overall, B+. B+ is fine. Like, we had a classic for sure. But overall, it was just a great show. Great show overall. 5 matches. One match that I felt was below standard, NXT standard. But the rest of them were fine. Absolutely. But let's go to the live chat. Live chat. Let me give you a couple minutes here. Thank you all for joining me, by the way, for what is definitely a worthwhile show. And no, I do not think anything on Royal Rumble tomorrow night is beating this match. This match is this year's Okada Omega. It is the first match of the year candidate that I don't see being top for a while. So let's see here. Grades are coming in. A+, 6 out of 5. A. Sonic X WWE says, yes, best main event for NXT so far. And my grade for the show is A-. Awesome. Zeno Hour gives it 96%. Cool. Rest in peace, Royal Rumble. Devin White. Yeah. This is not going to be top. Good luck. Let's see here. A- I marked for EC3. This is Shannon M365. Okay. A+. A+, brother. Yo, we got Twitwow in the house. Twitwow. Ashton and John. So go subscribe to Twitwow. But they're giving it an A+. That's major. That's major if they're giving it an A+, brother. Awesome Kid is calling it the greatest match in WWE history. As in, period. Not going that far, brother. But yeah, it's definitely the best match in NXT in terms of the main event. Let's see here. NXT equals impossible to have a bad takeover. This was said by Martin Braun. I might have to agree with you on that. The Beat Jr. says this show was an A- to me. A lot of A-. I think for the most part, fans are very happy with this NXT takeover, and you should be. You should be. It's time to debut Aleister Black at the Royal Rumble. I don't think that's going to happen. I would love for it to happen, especially since it's in Philly. That would be really good. I don't think it's happening, though. If anybody is going to debut, I'll say this. If anybody from NXT debuts on the main roster tomorrow in the Royal Rumble, men's Royal Rumble, I think it might be Velveteen Dream. Come on now. I'm serious. It might be Velveteen Dream. I would love for it to be Velveteen Dream. I don't think it's happening, though, but if anybody does, it'll be Velveteen Dream, not Aleister Black. Right, one more. Let's do one more. Let's see. Ministry Chick 77. I think that's why TakeOver is held before the main roster pay-per-views. The way the hardcore fans are kept happy with NXT so they don't hold a grudge against the main roster when they give them a show. I guess you have a point there. I guess you do have a point. But that doesn't mean that we'll say the main roster shows get a pass. You know what I'm saying? I do get that, though. All right, I'm going to end it right there. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this live NXT Takeover Philadelphia review. I'm going to get out of here. You will see me again tomorrow night for, remember, Royal Rumble live reactions. I will be doing a live reaction of the men's, not women, but men's Royal Rumble tomorrow. If you haven't checked out the Royal Rumble contest slots, if you have signed up for it, your number has been posted on my Facebook and my Twitter. It's pinned on my Twitter and my Facebook. So get your number. And those of you who signed up, the 210 people who signed up for the Royal Rumble contest, I hope to see you in the live chat tomorrow night. Yes, I will have the Only Florence and the Casual Viewer with me. We will be watching it because they are also in the contest. And then immediately after the live reactions, we will be doing our Royal Rumble 2018 review. So I hope to see you all tomorrow night for that. With that said, thank you all for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this review. And I'll see you guys next time right here in your boy, Deluxe Man's World. I love you all. I'm out. Peace.